Hello, I'm Bookface. So recently I realized while I was going over my drawing of the Rougarou in this video, watch it, that I have yet to do a second video about werewolves, despite how popular they are, unless you count that Halloween special, but that was a little more in-depth. So, first off, talking about my research notes, skip here if you don't care. So werewolves are cool creatures, but they're also very popular, which actually makes things harder to find, opposed to what you might think. Most studies of regional werewolf legends just sort of discuss the variations they have from most werewolf myth, leaving you to assume any commonality between the two. But the myth of the general werewolf is so big and vague that it can lead to other werewolves seeming as if they have no details of their own. It also leads to a frustrating matter of determining whether it's a variant for a werewolf from a certain area, or if it's literally just the translation of werewolf in that language. It's a particular issue I'm still having with the Langren, which maybe is a unique form of werewolf, but most things I find just seem to imply that it is just wolfman in Chinese. So, still trying to figure that one out. If you have any information in the comments, please, I would be eternally grateful. It can also be difficult at times finding the dividing line between werewolves and some other creatures, since there are a lot of things that can be equated to werewolves because, technically they shapeshift and they can turn into wolves this one time, but that doesn't make them werewolves. A lot of vampire legends have them transform into wolves, but are they werewolves? Surprisingly philosophical discussion. Or just tediously looking through my terminology and seeing what fits. All that to say, it took me a while to find this, despite what you might think, but I think I came up with some good ones. Now, with all that out of the way, let's jump right in. First up we have the Farkisoldis, which is a vampiric form of werewolf from Hungary. I'm sure they're quite hungry.
For your flesh.
The name translates to wolf beggar. Please, sir, may I have
your flesh?
Oftentimes it's an undead creature that, in life, was an abused shepherd. So is that like one of the job benefits? Like, oh yeah, you get vision, dental, if you're mistreated, you can return as a violent undead shapeshifter. Cost of living raise is included. Sometimes a person could become a Farkisoldis if they consume the flesh of someone who's been executed. So it's either mistreatment or straight up cannibalism. Tag yourself. They're generally thought to return from the dead to right some serious wrong, and are also known to be incredibly dangerous and easy to anger. They're already in a bad mood. Don't give them something else to be annoyed at. It's often thought that the spirit that brings the Farkisoldis back to life will quickly fade after getting revenge.
Haha, you suck. Alright, I'm out.
Real one-track mind there. I respect it. It's thought that they can take the form of a cat, a dog, or a goat, and will use these forms to discreetly seek out their prey. You know, I feel like we're stretching the limits of werewolf with all these other animals. Just werefauna. Actually, that sounds like a really good way to classify stuff. It's arbitrary. Everything's arbitrary. After finding their prey, typically asleep, they sit on the person's chest and drain them of their blood. Do you imagine just waking up and seeing just a full werewolf just chilling on you and also draining your blood? So I guess probably not that chill. I don't know, he could be a chill eater. After they've finished feeding and morning comes, they return to their graves to rest. So only one goal, but apparently easily sidetracked.
I must get revenge. But I also have the munchies.
It's thought that they can be killed with normal weapons, but they're also thought to be very difficult to kill one-on-one, and often need to be killed by a large group. Get your angry mob ready, it's time for a good old community werewolf hunt. Bring kids, make t-shirts. Don't worry, we made them red in case, you mix them up in the wash. That's the reason. If exhumed, the Farkisoldis shows very little sign of decay, either visually or in smell, and are often filled with fresh blood. Yeah, guys, this blood is way too fresh. Why are you looking at me like that? They can be killed if the body is burned to ash or soaked in holy water. Sometimes a wooden stake would be driven through the heart or a nail through the skull before burning them to ash. Some would also sever the limbs and head, remove the heart through the back, and then burn the body. And some just place the body in a sack and throw it in a river. You know, if good old river sack is effective, I kind of feel like the other ones are a bit excessive. You can always count on good old river sack. Do it. It's cheap. It's affordable. Everyone's doing it. Popular with the kids. Oh wow, is this a new TikTok challenge? Don't do that on TikTok. Next is the loup-garou, which I probably say weird because my mind wants me to say loup, but it's French, which is stupid, so the P is silent, so it's loup-garou. So I just go, This is a French form of werewolf that traveled to the US with colonialism. The only thing more dangerous than a werewolf. Colonizers. They're believed to feed on the blood and flesh from humans. There are various forms of loup-garou, and in fairness, that's the case with most things, but this time it's a bit more distinct, so that's why it's coming up. The oldest form of loup-garou start out human, then change fully into wolf with human intelligence. Often this version has transformation induced by wearing a magic belt made out of wolf skin. The fancier the fashion, the greater the shape-shifting. Oh god, look out everybody, I'm turning into wear polyester!
Feel like a monster!
The next form, these stories starting in the 18th century, only partially transformed, turning into human-wolf hybrids. Yes! The brand! And of course, this is the one where I don't draw it as a human-wolf hybrid. This form had incredible strength, speed, and were very difficult to kill. So basically, it's the closest you'll get to the typical Hollywood werewolf in mythology. Everything else just, it's a wolf, but a smart one. Wolf have big brain? Kill it! The next form, these stories starting in the 19th century, were people who didn't actually transform but were sort of possessed by some wolf-like spirit. This spirit would then lead the host to commit murder, cannibalism, grave robbing. So it's a bit more symbolic of the So it's a bit more symbolic in the meaning of the word monster. Still probably terrifying. I mean, if I had somebody walk up who genuinely thought they were a wolf, I think that would be a very disturbing sight that I would not want to be present for. Some other thought that the loup-garou was some human placed under a spell that takes human form by day and animal form by night. Oftentimes this spell would last 101 days before wearing off. Sounds like one of those, time frame things you get on commercials. TV only offer. Call now and you too can become a werewolf for 101 days. But wait, call right this second and you'll get the limited edition wolfskin fanny pack to store all those recently acquired organs. We are not responsible for your murder. Sometimes the curse could be resolved by a person recognizing the loup-garou and drawing blood from them. I get it, voids warranty of the wolf clothes. That's why you should make them red. Deadpool knows what's up. After this happens, neither of the two can discuss the incident until the original length of time has passed, and if they did, the one who cured the loup-garou will face some
Severe consequences. Snitches get stitches.
Lastly, we have the boxing wolf. This wolf will punch the crap out of you, because this wolf is always boxing. Okay, terrible joke aside, this is a werewolf from the Schaumburg region of Germany. A boxing wolf is formed when a person makes a pact with the devil for knowledge, wealth, and power, and also wolfiness, I guess, because I don't think being a wolf really gives knowledge, wealth, or I guess some power. Use a magic girdle to change form from fully human to fully wolf. When you want to turn into a wolf, but you also want to conform to the standards of female beauty from the 1900s? Maybe, I don't know. I didn't really want to spend a long time researching the history of the girdle. Once again, to turn into a werewolf, all you have to do is wear wolf. In wolf form, they have enhanced speed, strength, and human intelligence on top of their animal instincts. They're known to be incredibly sadistic and would attack people from behind, aiming for the neck to drag their victims away. Dang, don't waste any time. Despite their supernatural power, they could still be killed by normal weapons. The power of gun compels you! Holding a piece of iron or steel above the creature's head would break its connection with hell, which would then reveal their true name, which allowed them to be exorcised. I feel like that's a lot of work when you could just use the power of gun to compel them. Considering they made a deal with the devil, I don't know if you really want to help them that much. And there we have 3 different forms of werewolf. So I initially researched these for my website because werewolves are cool, and I think they would be cool on my website, and they are cool on my website, which you can check out in the link below. Smooth. Did I mention I have a Patreon? If you think I deserve to be paid for this. And if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye!